Hey guys, yeah, God is good all the time. So anyhow, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some fire starters. Mrs. Rain made some fire starters in the house there out of the egg carton variety, and I think she posted a video on me building a jig, fire starter jig for some fire starter pucks. One of our viewers came up with the idea of putting oil on here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some coconut oil on here and see how these turn out. So to get the project going, I have the inside of a toilet paper roll, a container of sliced garlic. No, not really sliced garlic. It's sawdust from the table saw. Some old melted candles. This is actually coconut oil here I use out in the shop for bowl work and different things for protecting food grade type bowls. Just a spoon so I can spoon the material into the jigs here. And here's a sample of the fire starters that we normally use. Now these work really well for lighting the fires in the house. You don't even need any kindling. And they also work great for when you're out hiking or whatever like that. Throw a few of these in your backpack. They also work real well for starting your rocket stove if you got one of those cooking outside. And this is the version I came up with. No, it's not sausage. It's actually wax and sawdust in the toilet paper dispenser rolls. And so this is what I'm going to be building today. And this one here lights a lot better because we have these superfluous little ends hanging off of here, and so it's real easy to light these with a match, and then the rest of it just kind of slowly burns. Well, this doesn't have a whole lot of that going on, so it doesn't light as readily as this one here. But what I want to do is when I finish building these, I can actually get about 5 of these out of one of these toilet paper centers. So I can get 5 of these. I cut these off on the radial arm saw or chop saw. And what I want to do, this is part of the 2.0 of the project. I'm going to try to put some short wicks in the center of these. Mrs. Rain just made one of these, and so I'm going to finish out the rest of that candle. This is actually still warm, but it's ready to break apart. You could, when you get done with these, you just break them apart. I think she's got a video on these. You just tear them apart, just like so, and then you set them in a container and use them as you need them. So I'll go ahead and stop yammering and get to see if I can burn the place down here. I've got the propane burner set up. Now all I have to do is just heat up this wax. I'll put this sawdust in here. And that just takes a few minutes to heat up. I'm going to grab a hold of the top of that wick right there just to keep that, because I want to use that later to put it on my in the centers of each one of those starter pucks there. So I'm coating the jig with oil. I'm actually putting coconut oil on here. I've melted it down on the wood stove, and you can see it's starting to solidify on here. I'll put the toilet paper centers in the jig while I'm waiting for that to melt. Now the reason I like these a little bit better than these is because they're a little more compact. I can make 3 of these little pucks here fit in the same space as one of these. So I can actually probably shave these down a little bit more because they burn, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. I think I timed it. We actually set these side by side. I had one of these and then one of these burn alongside of it, and they both burnt about the same amount of time. So the size efficiency when you're putting material in your backpack or what have you, your go bag or emergency kit or whatever, and your camp gear and whatever, size and weight mean quite a bit. So that's my purpose in doing this particular method of making fire starters. Okay, that's good enough. I'll let those set up now, and we'll come back when they cool down some. Well, hey folks, we're back out in the shop. This is the next day after making the pour on the fire starters, and so today I'm going to see how well the greasing up the jig actually did for allowing these to come off. Well, it didn't stick to the bottom, and it didn't stick too bad to the sides. So each one of those, I could make 6 out of those. Those will burn for quite a while. I got 6 out of 1 toilet paper roll center. Now if you guys are real mean, you could put those on a plate and serve them up for summer sausage. Okay, so I just cleaned off that wick. Now I just let that dry or solidify. While that's solidifying, I'm gonna warm up this. This is just a round file for a chainsaw chain. Just gonna warm it up a little bit. While that's warming up, I'm just gonna cut off just a little piece of this. Cut this up in little pieces. With that hot file, I can just work that in there, and then any of the wax right there will just get hard after that cools down, and it'll hold that little wick inside the puck here. Okay, I had enough of that wick off of that one candle to do, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fire starters off of that. Now you might be asking, well, does it work? That's all looks great, fine and dandy. You did it for next to free. Now let's see if we can start it. Now, you kind of understand what I'm saying. If you hold a lighter on here, it would take a little bit for that to get lit, but once it starts to burn, it burns fine. So I thought by putting these wicks in here, it'd kind of give us a little bit of a leg up. So all I have to do is light that. All I have to do is light that. And then just let it burn. So yeah, so there you have it. That should last. That should burn for around, oh, maybe 20 minutes. I think if I made this again, I would cut this down a little bit shorter to be the same width as this piece here. That way, when I go to assemble it, I don't have to flip-flop it around, because if these wing nuts are on this side, it makes it a little more difficult to operate the wing nut. If the wing nut's right here, it'll stop on this piece here. So I'll probably just cut this down on the table saw a little bit, make it the same width as the top piece here, and we'll go with that. So yeah, hope this helps you guys out. This is you know, it takes about 4 of these to make about the size, well, maybe 3 of them to equal one of these. So if you have a backpack or something like that, you can put all these in the same backpack, or you know, you get 3 fires out of this and 1 fire out of that guy, and it takes up a lot less room. So I'm liking this. It looks like I made 6 pucks out of each one of these. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 times 5 is 30 fires out of this one pour, and that was maybe equivalent to one of these candles. One of these candles is more than enough to accommodate a whole month's worth of fire starting if you start fires daily. We usually keep fires burning all winter long, so once we get a fire going, we usually kind of keep it going all winter long. You coming by and paying us a visit.